Today's class is going to be a little bit different than normal. We're going to start in a seated position and, if possible, in a chair. So if you have a couch or dinner chair, dinner table chair, is that a thing? Whatever you do have handy, if it feels right to you, just grabbing a seat in that chair. And at first here, you can sit and get comfortable, maybe leaning back even in your chair, maybe closing your eyes here right away if you'd like. Just letting your hands rest wherever they want to be. They could kind of hang down by the sides or rest in your lap, or even kind of hug opposite elbows or arms. You might kind of move your feet around a little bit until they find a place that just feels as comfortable as possible. Start to notice what you notice. Noticing your breath, maybe deepening or widening your breath if that feels right. Drawing the air lower. So we're getting into diaphragmatic breathing. So the belly expands with your inhales and softens with your exhales. So we're inhaling, belly expands. Exhale, soften. Sometimes it takes a little while to tune into, so just see if we can stick with it for a few more rounds. Softening the belly even more. I notice a tendency in myself to kind of, suck it in a little bit or what have you. So I'm trying to unlearn, and I think as we are in society here, we need to unlearn that kind of stuff. We don't need to suck it in. We need to let the belly be free and have full movement with your breaths. We are no longer shrinking ourselves. We are taking up our space. And noticing if you have something on your heart today that you'd like to set as an intention, or maybe you'd like to hold someone or a group of people in your heart during today's practice. Let's take 3 clearing breaths together, putting it all into motion. So inhaling through your nose, nice big sigh out of your mouth. 2 more like that. Follow your own pace. Slowly letting your chin come down toward the center of your chest. Feeling the back of your neck. Relax your shoulders. And allow your right ear to rock toward the right shoulder. You could let your left hand and arm kind of swirl around on the left side, finding some more stretching sensation there through the left side of the neck. And then dipping your chin back down toward the center of your chest before the left ear heads on over toward the left shoulder. Again, softening and maybe swirling the right arm and hand around as you feel some different sensation through the right side of your neck, maybe your shoulder. And go ahead and let your head dip down through center and back over to the other side. Go ahead and do that a couple times, back and forth. We'll start to do some head circles without bringing your neck all the way back. So like you're drawing a big circle with your nose right out in front of you. That's how we'll take our circles. And at some point we'll go in both directions. So switching when you feel the time is right. Bringing your head back up to center. Let's come to the edge of your chair. So you're kind of perching up on your chair if you can. So we're sitting up nice and tall. This is a really good way to have good posture while you're working. So if you ever get tired and you're just kind of like leaning back and you're doing your work, you kind of like perch up on your chair. Sometimes it gives kind of a boost of energy. So with an inhale, let's sweep the arms up and overhead. Take your time and feel free to look up toward your hands as they join up and overhead. Exhale, lower your hands and your gaze down to heart center. We'll switch that around. Inhale, hands go high, gazing up. Exhale, sweep your arms around and down. Let's do it a couple more times. Inhale, reaching high. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reaching high. And exhale, lower down. We're gonna switch it up a little bit this next time. Inhale to rise up. This time we'll take like a little back bend. So we'll kind of make W arms and puff the chest up. So we're getting a little bit of back bend. Inhale, reaching high. Exhale, cactus the arms, back bend. Just a couple more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. And exhale, bend. Lower your hands down by your sides and slowly make your way to a forward fold. You could keep your hands on your knees. You could toe heel your feet out nice and wide. If that gives you more space for your body. Your legs could be a little closer as well. Just find what feels like a nice forward fold. There might be a different variation I didn't even mention, so feel free to explore. And as you breathe here, feel the expansion through the middle of your back with each breath. Maybe letting your head loosen a little bit, or your neck, nodding your head yes, or shaking your head no. We're gonna rise back up kind of with a cat back. So rounding your spine, bringing your hands to your knees, and rising back up with your head and shoulders last to rise. When you get there, let's inhale, shoulders up toward the ears, and exhale, circle them back and down. So the chest is kind of puffing up. Let's knit the rib cage together. So we're just sitting up nice and tall. And right hand could come to your chair or your hip, whatever feels good. Right or left hand will reach up high. Take a breath in and exhale, side bend toward the right. Inhale, reaching up. We're going to stay on this side. Exhale, side bend to the right. One more time on this side. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, side bend. Let's switch sides. Inhale, lift the right hand. And exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bend. Inhale, come up to the center. Exhale, cactus the arms and twist toward the right. Taking as many breaths here as you need. We're going to hold in our twist. Notice where you're at now. This is your active twist. If you'd like, bringing your left hand down to the outside of your right knee and your right hand maybe to your chair. Just for a supported twist now. Gazing over the right shoulder. Let's hold this twist and move just the head and neck. With your inhale, turning your head to the left. Exhale, turn your head to the right. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. One last time. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Unwind, shake it out a little bit if you want. We're going to do that exact same thing on the other side. So inhaling to reach high. Exhale, cactus your arms, twisting toward the left, finding your own pace of breath here, noticing your active range of motion. And then if you want, lowering your right hand to the left knee and the left hand to your chair, twisting and turning your neck toward the left. Take our little head turns. So just moving the head and neck. Inhale here on the left. Exhale, turn your gaze over the right shoulder. Inhale left. Exhale right. One last time. Inhale left. And exhale right. Come on back to center. Let's straighten the legs out and just give them a little bit of a shake or a tap. Just kind of like to bend my knees, get things going a little bit here. Then we're gonna pick up that left leg, cross your left ankle on top of your right knee, if that's comfortable. You might have to move closer to the edge of your chair or backwards. We're just gonna pay attention to the foot here first. So you can kind of grab onto your foot, and like you're a physical therapist, you know exactly what you're doing with your ankle joint here. Just go ahead and move your ankle in all directions that feel good or neutral to you. If you find any pain, maybe being curious and discerning if it's pain or if it's maybe just a little bit of discomfort. Okay. Then go ahead and move on to a little foot massage here. So maybe squeezing with your thumbs. You could kind of alternate pressure, thumb to thumb, squeezing, massaging, and just moving around your foot. Making sure to get each of your toes, giving them each a little squeeze. It's kind of nice to grab onto your toes and kind of move them as well. A little stretch on your feet. Another really nice way, if anyone has like a tennis ball at home, put it by your couch and your TV. You can roll the bottom of your feet out on top of a ball, tennis ball. It feels so good, especially if you really have like plantar fasciitis or anything on the bottom of your feet. All right, we're gonna puff the chest up here and we're gonna take a little bit of a cat and cow like movement. So we're inhaling, finding belly coming forward like a little back bend. And then exhale, round your back, tucking your chin toward your chest, tucking your tailbone under. So you're really reaching with your back. Inhale, come forward, kind of cow pose, gazing up, and exhale, cat. We'll do this from the side in case you need another visual. Inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. Moving at your own pace here. Now you can keep moving like that, or you can find somewhere to hold. It might feel good to rest your forearms on your legs. For some people, it might feel good to kind of hang over the crossed legs. Find what works and hang out here for about 5 breaths. Pinpointing the place that feels the most sensation right now, and see if you can send your awareness of your breath and your breath to that area. So right now I'm really feeling it in that left hip. I'm just going to breathe and kind of just shower awareness on this spot and see what unfolds. And then eventually starting to rise back up. Let's straighten out that left leg. We'll bend and straighten the left knee a couple of times. You can hold on to your left leg if you want, or just keep it lifted on its own. And then set your left leg down. We'll switch sides. The right ankle comes up toward the knee. If it doesn't feel comfortable to do this, if you can sit up even higher or straighten your left leg a little bit more, that can be helpful. Let's puff the chest up. Oh, actually, let's grab onto that left foot and just kind of move, doing a little bit of manual therapy here on your right ankle, kind of stretching and moving your ankle in all directions. And then moving into your little foot massage. I always forget how good even like giving yourself a little massage can be. so accessible. But of course, getting a massage from someone else is always better, isn't it? Maybe not always, but quite often. Don't forget each of your little toes. Okay. Eventually moving into our cat and cow-like movements, holding onto that right leg if you want. Inhale, cow pose, belly kind of puffs out, and gaze lift. And exhale, cat, rounding back, pulling on the leg a little bit here. Inhale, cow, chest rises, and exhale, cat. Go ahead and continue. A couple more rounds. And you can keep this movement up or throw in a little stillness, maybe bringing your elbows down to your knees or just kind of finding a folded like position that meets you at your sweet spot or your edge. We'll have 5 more breaths here. Just about 1 more breath. And start to rise back up, straightening out that right leg, bending and straightening the right knee a couple times. All right. One more we'll do a little flow here before we stand up. Re-perching on the edge of your seat. Inhale, arms reach high. Exhale, fold, arms reach wide, and just do what you can to fold over your legs. Inhale, bring your hands up to your knees, halfway lift, so straightening your back. Exhale, folding back down. Inhale, reach your arms around and up, joining palms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more like that. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, bringing your hands up to your knees. And exhale, fold. Inhale, back up, hands reach high overhead. And exhale, hands come down to heart center. Clearing breath in through the nose and a sigh to release. Go ahead and stand on up. You can move that chair out of the way for now or move back to your yoga mat if that's what you're using today. And we'll meet up at the top edge of your mat. If you have yoga blocks, I always like to use those. So come on up to the top of your mat. You might take a little bit of a shake out here. I'm just kind of feeling that. So you could lift and lower your heels or start a little bit of a swinging or shaking motion in a way that feels more intuitive to you. Just kind of arriving here in this standing position. Stirring up a little energy. All right, up at the top of the mat here, take a look down at your feet. Make sure they're in a comfortable and supportive place. Inhale, hands reach high. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, this time sliding your hands again up to the knees or thighs. And exhale, fold down. Placing your hands on blocks or the floor, let's step just the right foot back and then lower your right knee to the mat. Big breath in, lifting up to our lunge. So we're kind of puffing the chest up, pulling the hips forward till you feel a nice stretch through the right hip flexor. And with an exhale, let's move to half splits. So pulling the hips back and straighten that left knee as much or as little as you'd like and peel those right toes or the left toes up off of the floor. So move through that. Inhale, come forward, plant your left foot, puff the chest up. And exhale, half splits. 2 more like that. Inhale, low lunge. And exhale, half splits. 1 more. And exhale. Coming back to our low lunge. Let's toe heel the left foot out to the left side of your mat, the left side of your left hand and block. Curl your right toes under, pick up your right knee, and then step your left foot back to meet your right in a downward facing dog. Find your breath here first and foremost. Strong breathing through the nose if possible. You could rise up onto your tippy toes with your inhales and lower your heels toward the floor with your exhales. 2 more breaths here. Last breath in and out. Inhale, bend your knees and look up toward the top of your mat. Exhale, step the right foot forward first and then the left. Forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bending your knees a little bit deeper. Inhale, rise all the way up, pressing your feet down as you join your hands overhead. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Take a couple of breaths here, checking in with yourself, creating a sense of balance between effort and ease in this moment. Calling to mind your intention if you set one. Let's take a round of Brahmari Pranayama or bumblebee breath. We'll take a variation that doesn't use our hands. Inhale through your nose and hum for your entire exhale. Simple as that. Any note, any combination of notes, just hum until your exhale ends. So go ahead, take a breath in to prepare. Whenever your hum naturally ends, just pausing for another breath or two, feeling the reverberations and responses from that humming vibration. Inhale, hands reach high. Exhale, sigh, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down to your block, step just the left foot back and lower your left knee down, finding that nice low lunge position, pulling the hips forward slightly. I like to be up on the highest setting on my blocks here. Feel for a stretch through the right or the left hip flexor this time. We'll take a breath in, puffing the chest up. And exhale, finding your variation of half splits, pulling the hips back, peeling the right toes up, and maybe straightening or almost straightening that right leg. Let's find our flow with it. Inhale, come forward, low lunge, puff the chest up. Exhale, half splits. 2 more. Inhale forward. Exhale back. 1 more. Plant that right foot, toe heel your right foot way out wide off of the right edge of your mat. Curl your left toes under, pick up your left knee, and step your right foot back to your downward facing dog. Big breath in and out. Big breath in and out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward toward the top of your mat. Exhale, step the left foot forward first, and then your right. Forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bending your knees a little deeper. Push on up, inhale, rise, joining hands overhead. And exhale, hands come down to heart center again, taking a few moments, checking in with yourself. Is there any way to stay a little closer to this balanced state? Take another humming breath. Exhale here, inhaling through your nose to prepare. Whenever your hum ends, just pausing here for another breath or two, soaking it in. Inhale, hands go high. Exhale with a sigh, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, bring your hands to the block, stepping both feet back to your high plank. One breath in, and then exhale, lower your knees and lower your chest. Let's set up for baby cobra, pressing the tops of your feet into the mat so much that you feel your glutes firing on here. Your knees might kind of pop up off of the floor slightly. Hands on either side of the chest, shoulder blades hugging together behind you. With your inhale, lift your head and heart using the strength of the muscles around the spine and core. And exhale, lower down. So we're not really using the hands or arms. Let's do it again. Inhale, baby cobra. You could even hover your hands up off of the floor if you really want to make sure you're using the right muscles. Lower down. One more time. Inhale to lift. Baby cobra. And exhale, lower. Inhale, press up to tabletop, hands and knees. Bring your knees out wide toward the edges of your mat, big toes touching behind you. And with an exhale, sinking back to child's pose. You could rest with your hands on the floor, your forearms on the floor or blocks, or even walk your hands up toward the top of your mat before sinking your head and heart down toward the floor. Where does your breath want to travel for these last 2 rounds right here? Inhale, come back up, tabletop, grabbing your blocks, and exhale, downward dog. Big breath in and out, in and out. Last breath in here, last breath out. Inhale, bend your knees, look up toward the top of your mat. Exhale, step just the left foot forward. And we're going to rise up. Inhale, sweeping the arms forward, bend into your left knee. All the toes are facing that short edge of your mat. Inhale, straighten both legs, kind of like a pyramid pose. Exhale, bend back into that left knee, cactusing the arms if that feels good. Inhale, straighten the legs and the arms. Exhale, bend the left knee, cactus the arms. Keep your knees bent or your knee bent here. Inhale, hands lift. Exhale, warrior two. We're opening the arms out wide, bringing your right heel down to the floor, continuing to keep that bend in the left knee. Gaze beyond your left middle finger, beyond what's in front of you, beyond the wall. Inhale, feel your strength. Exhale. One more breath in and breath out. Go ahead and straighten both legs. Pivot on your left heel so that you face the long edge of your mat. Bend into the right knee and then bend into the left knee. So just kind of back and forth a couple of times. You decide how much you bend your knees. You could keep your hands up here on your thighs. You could like get all the way down into like a skandasana with the left toes lifting. But just because poses look like they're deeper doesn't necessarily mean they're better. So just find what works, experimenting until something clicks. And then coming back up, spin the right toes toward the back edge of your mat, bending into that left or the right knee now. Inhale, arms reach high, and exhale, warrior two on the right. Gaze beyond your right middle finger and breathe. One more breath in. One more breath out. Lower your arms down. We're going to pivot on the left foot so we end up with all the toes facing the back edge of your mat. Inhale, arms reach high, right knee. Oh, right knee is straight. Exhale, cactus your arms, bend into the right knee. Inhale, straighten arms and legs. Exhale, bend. One more like that. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, cactus the arms. And come on back up, straightening both legs. Come back to the long edge of your mat. Bring your feet together. You can shake your feet out a little bit or your legs. Let's do tree pose for balancing next. You can always find a wall or your chair to hold on to for support. When you're ready, let's shift over toward the right foot so that we can kickstand the left knee out toward the left side. Your hands could be together or out wide, holding on to something or not. Find an unmoving focal point, something to stare right at, right through again. Dial in your breathing. If this feels like if you want more of a challenge, you could slide your left foot up to your right calf or even higher. If arm variations speak to you today or any movements you want to add on, go ahead. Be here for about 3 more breaths. Maybe lifting your arms or just hold steady. 2 more breaths. And lower the left leg down, shake out your standing leg. And we're switching sides. So stand on that left foot, open up your right knee and hip toward the right side wall. Find that focal point, either the same spot or experimenting. You could find a focal point that's maybe on your ceiling or maybe on the floor or maybe somewhere else that you don't normally choose. Steady your awareness on your breath. If you want to slide that right foot up any higher, go ahead. Otherwise, just stay where you're at. Arm variations or any additional movements are always welcome anytime. Let's have about 3 more breaths. I lost track already. I think just that's it. Stepping down, shaking it out one last time, and then let's go ahead and head down to the floor. Bending your knees, coming down to your back eventually. You can take your knees with you or rock and roll up and down the spine a couple times if that feels good. Eventually coming to rest on your back, hugging your knees in toward your chest. We're just going to squeeze the knees in and then let the knees kind of go back out. So you find a bit of a rocking movement here on the low back and sacrum. So we're just pulling the knees in and letting them go back out a couple times. This can change into a little bit of free movement, maybe circling your knees. And bringing your feet down to the floor. Long body stretch is next. So straighten your arms and legs, reaching fingers and toes in opposite directions, reaching and stretching. And then bringing hands down by our sides. Let's tuck the shoulder blades in beneath the chest. Bend your knees, stand your feet up on the floor. Tuck your tailbone under a little bit and set your low back on the floor. Press down through your feet, hands, elbows, and shoulders. And inhale to lift the pelvis, reaching your hip points high and tucking your chin at the top. Exhale, back down. Inhale, spend your entire inhale lifting. Your entire exhale lowering. Take a few more rounds, inhaling as you lift. Exhaling as you lower. And eventually setting the pelvis down to rest. Let's pick up the left leg and cross it over the right. This time, thigh to thigh, knee to knee, like you're crossing your legs sitting in a chair. Let's bring the arms out wide for support and then scooch those hips over toward the left edge of your mat. Start to twist and lower the knees toward the right. Now you could grab your props or blocks or pillows or blankets and kind of scaffold up your legs so you're in a comfortable amount of twist. You could slowly let your head rock side to side or find somewhere to pause along the way. Come on back up to center. Uncross your legs. Let's scoot back to the center. This time the right leg crosses over the left, thigh to thigh, knee to knee. We're picking up the pelvis and scooting over toward the right edge of the mat this time before we let the knees twist and lower to the left. Find support so your legs can really rest somewhere without feeling scared that you're going too far. Maybe letting your head rock or finding a place to Be still. Take your time coming back up to center. Uncross the legs, scoot back to the center of your mat. If there are any last poses, movements, or stretches that you're wanting or needing, now is a great time to move through those. Maybe a happy baby or something else. When you're ready, we'll get set up for our final rest today. I invite you to use that chair from earlier. You can bring your legs up onto a chair if you want. If so, just sitting as close as you can to the edge of your chair or couch and bringing the legs on up. Go ahead and recline. Sometimes it's nice to wrap like a blanket around your legs just so they're all cocooned in there, tucked in. If you're chilly at all, maybe grabbing a blanket to bring up over you. Maybe you hit the lights or anything else that might make this time feel a little more special or intentional, restful. And eventually just settling in, maybe closing your eyes or just softening your gaze. Let your shoulders and arms be heavy and grounded. Torso and back, grounded, peaceful, relief. The hips and pelvis, both legs and feet. You can release any gripping or holding. Really be supported by your props or your chair. Noticing your jaw softening, smoothing out any tension through the eyebrows and forehead, creating just a little more space between your eyebrows. A little more surrender through the eyes. Slow whirl of breath through your nose. Noticing the inhale through your nose, feeling perhaps a little cold. And that breath out through your nose, maybe a bit warm. Become aware of the tongue, the root of your tongue, relaxing and softening. The front side of your body and the back side of your body. All of the edges and creases. Noticing the surface area of your skin, any temperatures or qualities of the air surrounding you that you can determine through the skin. Feeling that solid connection between you and the floor. And what's beneath that, and beneath that, and beneath that, all the way down to the dirt and the roots and the mycelium network. Being reminded that you are connected, you belong here, you are lovable, and there's nothing you need to change, no one else you have to be. Just continuing this rest for a couple more minutes. And you are welcome to stay right here, continuing to rest as long as you'd like. If you are ready to begin reawakening, let's start by deepening your breath, maybe yawning or swallowing, wiggling fingers and toes, continuing to move in intuitive ways to eventually push away from the chair, rolling onto either side now for fetal position, knees slightly tucked in. Take a full round of breath right there, honoring the pause. And then press your way on up using the strength of your arms and hands. Press up to a comfortable seat. Join hands at heart center here, maybe closing the eyes if you'd like. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and be free. And may our own thoughts, words, and actions somehow contribute to that happiness and freedom for all. Together, bringing thumbs up to third eye center, just between and above the eyebrows. Let's take a little gesture of gratitude to seal our class in together, a little bow forward. Right now, peace.